Hey, what's up, everyone? Wanted to just jump on here real quick and just kind of record a real quick video in discussion about the Nintendo Music app that was recently revealed by Nintendo and my thoughts on it, and also just ask you the question if you've tried it, what you think about it, and how you think it's going to be used. Now, I'm kind of two ways about this, as I am with most things, because again, it's going to depend upon how it's used, right? Could this have been something they could have just came out with and put on Spotify? Yeah, sure, but Nintendo likes to have control of stuff, so I'm sure they probably couldn't work out any kind of a deal, right? It's kind of like how they used DNA or whatever that company was to make apps for them, and they're the ones that came out with the Nintendo Switch Online app, and that's how we ended up getting the voice chat feature. Even though it seems like they could have probably worked out something with Discord or somebody else to release that, right? Kind of like how Microsoft owns Skype, but they're not really using anything with it. Like if you download the Skype app and you have a webcam, okay, cool, you can use that, and you can do video chatting. But they also have Discord on there, so just go through your voice with that, or just add your Xbox friends. Like, who really cares, right? So that's all that I'm saying. It's something like that. It's going to depend on how they use it. So right now, the Nintendo Music app is very bare bones. It has like just a couple of Mario in there. They don't have Super Mario World, but they have Super Mario World Yoshi's Island, which is fine. They have a couple of Metroids in there and like one Pokemon game, I think. And a lot of stuff from the Switch, like Mario Kart 8, but no Smash Brothers, probably because Smash Brothers has third-party music, and we'll get into that later. But for right now, it is a very cool app. I like, the fact that it shows like the level that it's from and all that stuff. And if they could figure out a way in future updates to maybe animate it to where if you're going through the app, it shows like Mario running through the underground part. If it's just an infinite loop, I think that'd be kind of cool. So yeah, it's going to depend upon how it's used, because I kind of said the same thing about Sony Pictures Core when that app came out, and how like, oh, it includes your PlayStation Plus and it gives you free games and stuff like, not free games, it gives you free movies and stuff like that to watch. And at the time that it came out, they were old movies that you could probably find anywhere for free. So it wasn't that big of a deal because you still had to rent and pay for stuff, and so it's like it's kind of like Prime. It's kind of like Amazon Prime in a way, the Prime TV app. But Sony hasn't done anything with that yet. They don't have any PlayStation exclusive stuff. Like Gran Turismo didn't come out, and it was like, since you're a PlayStation Plus Essentials person or whatever, you get it included or whatever. It's still something you have to pay for. It's like, well, I could just have done that through Prime. So the core app is becoming less and less relevant as it's being used. The same thing with the Nintendo Switch Online app. It's becoming less and less relevant when it's just like, why should I use an app to talk to my friends when I can just go through Discord or 100 other different ways. I can use Google Meet, I can use FaceTime. There's all kinds of different ways I can do this. So why? And that's sort of how I feel for Nintendo Music. So we'll see what they do with it. But if they continue to add on music to it, so I can find any song that I want. Like they have Nintendogs on there. They have music from Nintendogs. I was surprised by that. They have music from Tamagotchi, right? They have Wii menu stuff. It's amazing, and this little nostalgic nerd kind of just started to come out of me, and I got joyous by that. I don't know why. I don't really know why, but I did. And if they continue to do that, right, so I can get like Super Mario Brothers 2, and I can get, just you name the game, like Chibi Robo stuff, anything. Then I think it'd be pretty cool to do in the future, especially if they continue to add it and they make it to it's got some cool stuff in it, like maybe, again, when you're in it, it gives you a unique clock that is like a Mario thing or whatever to show you the time while the music's going. So if you are using the app, then cool. But something that I think would be the best use of it is sort of like what we have now with modern consoles, and that's the reason why I think they're giving us this stuff now instead of later, is because it's going to relate back to Switch 2. This is just the hopeful person in me, right? I want to say that it uses some kind of functionality with Nintendo Switch 2. Kind of like now how when you listen to PlayStation and you just put on Spotify, You can just sort of put that off on a sidebar. You can just listen to music while you play something, and you can just listen to whatever play. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, and you can just listen to, like, you know, the music from Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, while you're playing Smash Brothers or something, or playing Mario Kart, instead of having to listen to the Mario Kart music, you know? And they just use that going forward. And it's just an app that's included with Nintendo Switch 2. You download it and you just do it in the background. I also wouldn't be surprised if they use this as a launching pad to do a Nintendo TV or a Nintendo Movies kind of like app that brings you the Super Mario Brothers movie, that brings you Nintendo original shorts, that gives you a platform instead of maybe using YouTube, gives you a platform to watch Nintendo Directs and stuff like that. That way, say you have it going through the notifications thing, you go through an app. I don't know. I really don't think that that's going to be something that's ideal. But there's a part of me that's kind of thinking, yeah, do it. Because that was something that was cool about, like, the Nintendo 3DS and the Wii. Was like they had these apps, right? You could just take the music, add it to an SD card, pop it into the 3DS, and go to the Nintendo Music app, or whatever they call the 3DS Music, 3DS Sound, whatever they called it, and you can just then play those songs, and you can just forward the thing, and if you had headphones on, you could still listen to the music, use it specifically for that. But that was a different time. That was before we had smartphones that had apps. So would it be something they would really use? I don't know. It also kind of reminds me back of like the 360 and the PS days where people had their own specific stuff. Like, do you remember Xbox Music and Xbox Movies and stuff? And now you just get all that through the Microsoft App Store. I'm just saying, it could be something that they do, something like that. Harking back to the old days, be like a Wii and give us a weather app and a news app, and the news app would be also where we get like game-specific news and announcements from developers and games that you follow, but also can give us news that we choose to follow. Like if you really want to follow some entertainer, then you can follow certain actor or band or whatever there. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's going to depend upon what Nintendo does with it, but it is a fun app right now. I think it would be cool if they did something with the next Switch that, again, just lets you do stuff in the background. But that just seems like, again, that could have just been something that's like you could have looked at Spotify and came up with a specific Nintendo thing for. I don't know. Maybe they'll still put Spotify in there. Who knows? It's Nintendo. It wouldn't surprise me if the Alamo is somehow connected to the Switch 2 to give us like a health app, some kind of a fitness app. And you continue to, you know, because where else are you going to send, if it is backwards compatible, where are you going to send your Ring Fit data to, right? Well, to a health app. You could also send that stuff to your Switch 2. It does seem, again, like that should just be an app for those people that don't want to carry around the Switch everywhere with them. But for those people that do, maybe you can do both. Maybe you can have some kind of communication. I mean, look, it works for Apple. It works for all these other companies that have multiple devices that you can just connect, like the Phone Link app on your Windows computer that links it to your phone so you can get the same messages and you can call people through Bluetooth on your computer. As long as you have Bluetooth connected, you can just call people on your computer using your phone. That kind of interconnectivity exists everywhere. So why wouldn't Nintendo do that in some ways? Maybe we'll get a Nintendo phone. Who knows? That seems like the least possible option, but I am interested in what you guys think Nintendo's going to do with this technology going forward. Do you think we're going to get some kind of functionality back to the Switch 2? Is just going to be some one-off app that in a year is going to be dead, like Matomo and the Nintendo Switch Online app and all that stuff like that? I'm interested. You got me in. You know, Nintendo, I've tried every single thing. I did the Dr. Mario thing. I did the Mario Kart phone app. I've tried every single app that you've come out with. You've got me hooked and you got me interested in all these neat ideas and stuff like that. So again, we'll see what we do at the end of the day, but I don't know. I'm kind of losing steam at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. But I hope that you have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, and feel free to shout out in the comments if you want about what you think this is going to turn into, and if it just continues to just be an app, what games do you want them to add? I personally would love the idea of bringing Smash Brothers and working with third-party developers to like bring Castlevania music and Mega Man music over. I think that'd be a really cool step forward, especially because you worked with Sega to give us Genesis games. So why not in the future give us like, you know, the 32X, Sega CD, Dreamcast, Saturn games onto the NSO. Do the same thing for here. Give us Sonic music. Give us Mega Man, Castlevania. Bring back all the old nostalgia classics that other developers and other companies just seem to want to ignore. I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with it. But just know that you will need a Nintendo Switch online account. I don't know if you need to have the paid one. Probably so, because I think they're all paid. I don't think there's a free one anymore. But I think it's worth it so far. I think it's kind of cool. I can't wait for the new music that they're going to add in later on. And hopefully get some third-party stuff down the road. But what do you guys think about the app? Have you used it? What do you want to see from it? Do you think it's going to be something that's going to be used with Nintendo Switch 2? I've already cut this video way longer than I expected it to be, so I appreciate you sticking around to the end. Leave a thumbs up if you did, so I know that you made it all the way to the end. And I hope that you guys have yourself a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week for another video discussion.